Listen carefully, because what I'm about to share with you has the power to shift how people see you, how they respond to you, and how much influence you hold in every room you walk into. Have you ever noticed how some people just command attention without even trying? They're not the loudest, they're not the flashiest, they're not out there begging for validation, but somehow, all eyes are on them. People lean in when they speak. Their words land with more weight. Their presence feels grounded, unshakable. You ever wonder why that is? It's not money, it's not fame, it's not some fancy degree hanging on the wall. It's something deeper, something subtle, something powerful. It's calm, it's detachment, it's that quiet energy that says, I know who I am, and I don't need to prove it. See, the world we live in today thrives on noise. Social media screams for attention. People chase likes, followers, applause, always performing, always reacting. And in that chaos, the rare individual who remains calm, who doesn't flinch, doesn't chase, doesn't beg, that person becomes magnetic. Why? Because in a world full of people trying to be seen, the one who doesn't need the spotlight becomes the most intriguing. Calm is not weakness. Detachment is not apathy. In fact, they're some of the strongest qualities you can develop. When you're calm, people assume you're in control, even when you're not. When you're detached, people sense that you don't need them to validate you, and that makes them want your validation even more. We are wired to notice what stands out, and when everyone else is anxious, desperate, overinvested, and loud. The calm, composed, and detached individual stands out like a lighthouse in a storm. Think about the most respected leaders you've ever seen, the mentors who left a mark on you, the people whose words stuck with you long after they left the room. Were they frantic, emotional, needy, or were they centered, focused, calm? Calmness communicates certainty, and certainty is magnetic. Now let me be clear, I'm not talking about suppressing your emotions. I'm not saying you shouldn't care. What I'm talking about is emotional discipline. It's the ability to feel deeply but still act with clarity, to face pressure and not fold, to walk into a room and not need anything from anyone. You don't chase energy, you are the energy. You don't react to everything. You choose what deserves your attention. You don't try to please everyone. You respect yourself enough to walk away from anything that doesn't align with your values. And you know what happens when you operate like that. People start to respect you. They listen more. They trust your decisions. They want to be around you, not because you're trying to impress them, but because your peace reminds them of what they're missing in themselves. Now ask yourself this: in your daily life, are you reacting or responding? Are you easily thrown off by what someone says or does? Or are you grounded enough to stay composed when things don't go your way? Because the moment you learn how to pause, to breathe, to detach your emotions from your identity, you begin to take back control, not just of how others see you, but how you see yourself. Let me leave you with this thought: you don't attract what you chase. You attract what you are. So if you want more respect, more influence, more peace, then start becoming the kind of person who embodies those things. Start becoming calm, become detached. Be that unshakable presence in a world full of chaos. And if you stay with me until the end of this talk, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that step by step. Because calm and detachment aren't just traits. They're skills you can learn, skills that can change the way you walk through life. Are you ready? Let's go deeper. When you learn to control your emotions, everything around you begins to shift. Think about it. How often do we let our emotions control our words, our tone, our energy? One moment of anger can ruin a relationship. One reaction based on fear can kill an opportunity. One emotional outburst can destroy trust that took years to build. But when you master your emotions, you master your life. Emotional mastery doesn't mean you don't feel. It means you don't let those feelings lead the way. It's about choosing your response instead of being owned by your reaction. People are drawn to those who make them feel safe, steady, and seen. And one of the most underrated ways to create that energy is to be emotionally stable. When you're calm in a heated moment, when you can listen instead of interrupt, when you can pause instead of attack, that's power. Quiet power, the kind that doesn't need to shout to be felt. You ever been in a conversation where someone totally lost control? Yelling, blaming, emotional chaos. What did that make you feel? Uncomfortable, disconnected, maybe even defensive. Now imagine the opposite. Someone who listens, thinks, speaks with care, and doesn't take things personally. That person becomes easy to talk to, trustworthy, attractive, because they create space for others to be real without the fear of being attacked or misunderstood. That's what emotional mastery gives you. It builds bridges, not walls. It earns respect, not just attention. It allows you to lead, influence, and connect from a place of strength. And here's the thing. Emotional control isn't just for tough conversations. It shows up in the little moments too. How you handle criticism, how you react to rejection, how you carry yourself when things don't go your way. All of it tells the world what kind of person you are, and whether or not you can be trusted with leadership, with opportunity, with relationships that matter. When you're calm, people feel safe around you. When you're detached, they know you're not desperate. But when you're emotionally intelligent, when you can feel everything and still choose wisely, then you've unlocked a level of power and appeal that few people ever reach. That's what separates noise from presence, reaction from respect, emotion from wisdom. When your mind is calm, your vision becomes clear. Most people don't realize how much their thinking gets clouded by emotion, urgency, or over-attachment. They make decisions based on how they feel in the moment, not based on what actually serves them long term. And when your mind is busy reacting, it can't think deeply, it can't think wisely, it can only survive. But clarity, that comes from calm. When you stay calm and detached, you create mental space. You remove the fog. You stop reacting and start seeing things for what they really are. You don't get pulled into other people's chaos. You don't internalize every problem as a personal attack. Instead, you slow down, you observe, you process, and you respond with intention. Let me give you a simple truth. A calm mind is a powerful tool in a world of noise. Because in chaos, people panic. In pressure, people freeze. But when you're calm, you think. And thinking clearly in moments where others can't. That's where leadership is born. That's where solutions are found. That's where progress begins. Now, detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care correctly. You stop obsessing over what you can't control. You let go of things that don't serve your growth. You stop tying your identity to outcomes or other people's opinions. The mind, when detached, becomes efficient. It works smarter, not harder. It stops chasing every thought, every fear, every emotion. It starts focusing on what matters, on what moves the needle. That's why people who are calm under pressure often rise to the top. Because when everyone else is scattered, they're focused. When others are driven by ego or emotion, they stay centered in truth. So ask yourself, are you making decisions from a place of peace or panic? Are you thinking things through, or just reacting to your environment? Because the greatest advantage you can have in life is the ability to stay calm when it matters most. That calmness gives you mental clarity. That clarity leads to better choices, and better choices, they create better outcomes. In the end, a clear mind isn't just a tool, it's a weapon. One that separates the distracted from the disciplined, and the average from the exceptional. Calmness isn't just good for your mind, it's a blessing for your body. When you live in a constant state of stress, anxiety, or emotional chaos, your body pays the price. The heart beats faster, blood pressure rises, muscles tighten, sleep suffers, your immune system weakens, and over time all of that takes a toll. People underestimate the connection between the mind and the body, but it's real. What affects one affects the other. When you stay calm and emotionally detached, you're not just protecting your peace, you're protecting your health. See, the nervous system responds to how you handle life. When you react to everything, live in fear, or stay emotionally entangled in things you can't control, your body goes into survival mode, cortisol levels spike, inflammation rises, and over time, that leads to fatigue, illness, and even chronic disease. But when you cultivate calmness, something beautiful happens. Your breath slows, your heart rate evens out, your body relaxes. You enter what's called the rest and repair state. This is where healing happens. This is where your body regenerates, your mind recovers, and your overall well-being begins to strengthen. This isn't just theory, it's biology. Calmness literally changes your brain chemistry. It increases serotonin and dopamine, the chemicals responsible for happiness and motivation. It reduces stress hormones. It improves focus, boosts your mood, and allows your brain to function at its best. People who are calm age slower, they sleep better, they digest food more efficiently. Their immune system functions at a higher level. Why? Because they're not burning out their body with unnecessary emotional drama. Detachment also plays a major role here. When you detach from toxic relationships, negative environments, and outcomes you can't control, you remove a huge weight off your nervous system. You stop draining your energy on things that don't deserve your attention. That freed up energy, it goes toward healing, growth, and physical vitality. Your body is always listening to your mind. So when your mind is calm, your body feels safe. When your emotions are balanced, your health gets stronger. The two are deeply connected. So if you want to glow differently, move differently, and live longer with strength, start by mastering your inner world. Your body will thank you for it. One of the most powerful benefits of staying calm and detached is how it transforms your relationships. Whether it's with your partner, your family, your friends, or your coworkers, people naturally gravitate toward those who are grounded. Think about it. When emotions run high and everyone's feeding into drama or tension, the person who remains steady becomes the anchor. They become the safe space. And in a world where most people are reactive, that kind of energy is rare and highly attractive. When you're calm, you listen better. You don't interrupt. You don't take things so personally. You create space for the other person to express themselves without fear of judgment or retaliation. That alone deepens trust. People feel seen, heard, respected. Now let's talk about detachment. This doesn't mean you disconnect emotionally or stop caring. It means you stop clinging. You stop needing other people to behave a certain way in order for you to be okay. You let people be who they are, and you hold space for them without letting their energy dictate your own. That kind of emotional independence is powerful in relationships. It means you're not constantly seeking validation. You're not controlled by someone else's mood. You don't feel the need to argue just to prove your point. You can agree to disagree without disrespect, and that maturity, that presence, it draws people to you. Because here's the truth, nobody wants to feel like they're responsible for your emotional stability. That's a heavy burden to carry. When you're calm and detached, you bring peace to the relationship instead of pressure. And when you're the one who can stay centered, even during difficult conversations, you give the relationship a chance to grow rather than break. Also, let's be real, everyone's watching how you handle conflict. Do you shut down, blow up, get defensive, or do you breathe, stay present, and respond with wisdom? People remember how you made them feel, especially in moments of tension. If you can bring calm into conflict, people will respect you more, trust you more, and love you more deeply. In short, calm and detachment are the foundation of healthy, lasting, and meaningful relationships. They make you not just more likable, but more reliable, more magnetic, and more respected. When you stay calm and detached, something incredible starts to happen. You begin to gain power in situations that used to control you. Let's be honest, most people are ruled by their environment. If something goes wrong, they panic. If someone disrespects them, they lash out. If a plan fails, they fall apart. But when you learn to remain calm, when you develop the discipline to stay emotionally detached, you stop giving your power away. You no longer become a puppet to circumstances or people. You become the one who decides how you show up, no matter what's happening around you. That's real power. Power isn't about being louder, tougher, or more aggressive. It's about control, not control over others, but control over yourself. When everyone else is reacting and you're responding with clarity and purpose, you instantly stand out. You become the person people look to when things get difficult because your presence brings stability. Detachment enhances that power even more because when you're detached from outcomes, you become fearless. You still care, you still work hard, but you're not controlled by the need to win, impress, or be accepted. And that mindset is dangerous. In a good way, it makes you bold, it makes you decisive, it makes you willing to walk away from anything that doesn't serve your growth. And let me tell you, there is power in being able to walk away. Whether it's a toxic job, an unhealthy relationship, or a bad deal, when you're calm and detached, you don't cling out of fear. You choose with wisdom, you move with confidence. You stop chasing things that drain you and start attracting things that align with your values. This energy is rare. Most people chase approval, success, or security. But the person who operates from a place of calm detachment walks in every room already full, already centered, already whole. That's power, and people can feel it. When you carry that energy, life responds differently. Opportunities come, people listen, doors open, not because you force them, but because you've become the kind of person who doesn't need to force anything. The calm, detached individual is never desperate, and because of that, they're never weak. That's the secret, that's the edge, that's the power most people will never tap into. The ability to stay calm and detached in a chaotic world doesn't just make you more appealing. It sets the foundation for success in every aspect of life. This unique quality creates a momentum that propels you forward, allowing you to move through challenges with confidence and ease. When you are calm and centered, you automatically create an energy that others notice. You become like a rock in a river, unaffected by the current, able to move through difficult situations with grace. But what's even more powerful is that this kind of energy doesn't just help you survive. It helps you thrive. When you're not overwhelmed by stress or emotion, you can think clearly and act decisively. You stop wasting time and energy reacting to the noise around you, and instead, you direct your focus on what truly matters. This momentum builds over time. As you handle one challenge after another with composure and clarity, you begin to develop an internal rhythm. You stop letting setbacks shake you, because you understand that everything in life is temporary. You realize that everything that doesn't work out is just a stepping stone to something better. And with this mindset, you're no longer held back by fear or doubt. Instead, you embrace challenges as opportunities to grow. The key to unlocking this momentum lies in consistent emotional regulation. The more you practice staying calm, the easier it becomes. Over time, your emotional intelligence increases. You become more aware of your triggers, your patterns, and your responses. This awareness helps you make better choices in all areas of your life. You no longer allow yourself to get swept up in unnecessary drama, and you start making decisions from a place of clarity and strength. This momentum is not just about personal growth, it's also about influence. People are naturally drawn to those who remain steady in a storm. When you show up calm, composed, and focused, people trust you. They want to be around you, they want to work with you, they want to follow you. And that momentum you create doesn't just change your life, it changes the lives of those around you as well. In the end, it's the calm, detached individual who wins, not because they're lucky or gifted, but because they know how to build momentum in their life and keep moving forward, no matter what. And that's a force to be reckoned with.